What if I told you some of the greatest guitar solos of the 1970s were never played on classic rock radio? Buried in deep cuts and overlooked albums are solos that could have defined the decade, but didn't. These are 10 obscure 70s guitar solos that deserve to be huge. Number 10, Sweet Jane by Steve Hunter. Before Lou Reed sings a single word, the audience is already being transported somewhere else entirely. And that's thanks to Steve Hunter. His intro to Sweet Jane, performed live on Rock and Roll Animal, isn't just a warm-up. It's a fully composed, emotionally charged instrumental journey, stretching nearly 4 minutes, yet never wasting a second. Hunter blends classical phrasing with bluesy bends and cinematic dynamics, building a melodic arc that rises slowly, almost like the overture to a forgotten rock opera. Each note feels carved, not played, as if he's sculpting something bigger than just a solo. It's elegant, it's patient, it's powerful. And the tragedy? Most listeners have no idea who played it. They think of Lou Reed. Maybe they recognize the song. But the guitarist behind one of the most breathtaking intros of the decade remains a ghost in the background. Hunter's work here isn't just underrated, it's one of the greatest guitar passages most people have never even noticed. Number 9, 25 or 6 to 4 by Terry Kath. When most people think of Chicago, they think of horns, ballads, and polished pop hooks. But in the early days, the band had something far more dangerous at its core. And his name was Terry Kath. The solo in 25 or 6 to 4 is a raw, unfiltered outburst of emotion. There's no perfection here, and that's exactly what makes it unforgettable. From the moment he kicks in with that snarling wah tone, Kath plays like he's got something to prove, as if each note could tear the song open. It's not just technically impressive, it's visceral. He bends notes until they almost break, pushes the amp into saturation, and dances on the edge of chaos without ever losing command. You can hear him wrestling with the guitar and winning. It's the kind of solo that makes your jaw drop the first time you hear it. And yet somehow, Terry Kath's name still isn't mentioned in the same breath as Page, Gilmore, or Beck. Number 8, Astronomy by Buck Dharma. While Blue Oyster Cult is best known for cowbells and radio hits, Astronomy lives in another universe entirely. Tucked at the end of Secret Treaties, it's a slow-burning epic, cinematic, brooding, and layered with atmosphere. And when Buck Dharma steps into the spotlight, he doesn't explode into the mix. He glides in. His solo feels less like a performance and more like a meditation, carefully unfolding over lush chords, bending and blooming with emotional weight. He doesn't play fast. He doesn't show off. Instead, he builds a melodic arc that sounds almost mournful, as if the guitar itself is holding back tears. It's a solo you don't just hear, you feel it settle in your chest. Far from the theatrics of 70s arena rock, this was subtle storytelling through tone and restraint. A hidden masterpiece, overlooked for decades. Number 7. No Lullaby by Martin Barre. By the late 70s, Jethro Tull had long outgrown their folk rock label, and No Lullaby proved it. A thunderous, shape-shifting track that opened heavy horses with unexpected weight and menace. But it's guitarist Martin Barre who truly steals the moment. His solo doesn't enter with elegance, it attacks. Carving through the song's shifting rhythms, Barre delivers a jagged, muscular lead that feels more Sabbath than minstrel. The tone is gritty and unpolished, almost ugly in places. But that's the beauty of it. It's alive. Instead of aiming for technical perfection, Barre lets the solo unravel with instinct. He moves between melodic threads and aggressive stabs, bending the guitar to the will of the song's dark energy. You can hear every ounce of physicality in his playing. Fingers digging in, strings pulling back. This wasn't flute-accompanied fantasy. This was prog rock with teeth, and Martin Barre was biting down hard. Number 6. Highway Song by Rickey Medlocke. Blackfoot's Highway Song may have started as a power ballad, but by its final minutes, it becomes a full-on showcase of guitar-driven storytelling. And Rickey Medlocke's solo is the engine behind that transformation. What begins as a restrained melodic lead gradually evolves into a cascading sequence of bends, slides, and quick bursts of phrasing that feel improvised yet purposeful. Medlocke leans into the blues vocabulary, but he extends it, using sustained high notes and double-stop runs to build tension as the tempo rises. By the time the outro kicks into overdrive, he's navigating the rhythm section like a race, each phrase accelerating, pushing the band forward. There's no theatrical flourish, just intensity, feel, and precise control. It's a southern rock solo that avoids cliches and delivers something far more dynamic. Despite the quality of the composition and the playing, it's rarely mentioned in the same breath as the genre's big anthems. Before we head into the top 5, let's hear from you. Which of these solos brought something back? Or maybe you've got a favorite that didn't make the cut. Drop it in the comments, especially if you've got a deep cut most people have never heard of. Let's see how many hidden gems we can dig up together. Number 5. Firth of Fifth by Steve Hackett. Progressive rock was never short on complexity. Odd time signatures, extended compositions, endless instrumental passages. But very few moments in the genre ever achieved the clarity and emotional depth of Steve Hackett's solo in Firth of Fifth. It enters after Tony Banks's iconic piano and synth lead, not as a burst of energy, but as a continuation, a melodic resolution that carries the weight of everything that came before. Hackett's touch is precise. He favors sustain over speed, carefully bending into each phrase with a violin-like sensitivity that feels almost classical in tone. What makes the solo so memorable is its structure. It follows a clear arc, a gentle opening, a lyrical climb, and a sweeping, cathartic peak before easing back into the song's final section. There's no improvisation here. It's composed, deliberate, and emotionally locked into the song's broader narrative. It's one of the rare guitar solos that speaks in full sentences, clear, expressive, and unforgettable. And yet, outside of Genesis fans, it's often overlooked entirely. Number 4. Aqualong by Martin Barre. Martin Barre didn't just play one of the most recognizable guitar riffs of the decade. He followed it with a solo that elevated the entire track. In Aqualong, Barre delivers a lead that perfectly captures the song's shifting mood. It's aggressive without being chaotic, melodic without losing bite. He opens with short, stinging phrases, almost like punctuation, before expanding into longer, fluid lines that push against the rhythm with controlled intensity. What makes the solo stand out isn't just tone or technique, it's the balance. Barre moves between angular blues-based phrases and searing high register bends, layering grit over structure. He doesn't rely on flash. He builds tension, peaks, and then pulls back, all within a tight window. It's a solo that sounds unrepeatable, not because it's wild, but because it's so perfectly suited to that moment in the song. And even though Aqualong became one of Jethro Tull's defining tracks, Barre's guitar work still doesn't get the spotlight it deserves. Number 3. Starship Trooper by Steve Howe. By the time Yes reaches the final section of Starship Trooper, the track has already moved through 3 distinct movements. But it's in the closing segment, known as Worm, where Steve Howe takes complete control. The solo doesn't begin with a bang. It enters slowly, riding a hypnotic 3-chord progression, gradually layering tones with a sense of patience and precision. Howe starts simple, just a few measured phrases, letting the groove establish itself. Then, with each repetition, he builds, adding bends, trills, melodic shifts, and harmonics until the entire piece is surging toward its peak. What's remarkable is how much restraint he shows. There's no rush to impress, no urge to overplay. Instead, the solo unfolds like a rising wave, deliberate, expansive, and incredibly satisfying when it crests. Live versions push this even further, sometimes stretching to 10 minutes or more. But even in its original form, Howe's solo remains a masterclass in structure, feel, and dynamic control. Number 2. The Width of a Circle by Mick Ronson. When David Bowie opened his Man Who Sold the World tour with The Width of a Circle, it wasn't the lyrics that grabbed the audience first. It was the guitar. Mick Ronson takes over the track almost immediately, launching into a solo that's loud, distorted, and completely unapologetic. This wasn't polished rock and roll. It was gritty, theatrical, and chaotic in the best possible way. Ronson blends thick, overdriven power chords with searing lead runs that border on proto-metal. His tone is sharp, aggressive, and completely locked into the rhythm section. But he still finds space to inject melody, especially during the longer instrumental passages. What makes this solo special is how unfiltered it feels. It's not clean or safe. It's raw, messy, and full of character, the kind of playing that gives a song its spine. Ronson was often overshadowed by Bowie's charisma, but here, he doesn't just support the song, he dominates it. And yet, this solo rarely appears on any list of great guitar moments from the 70s. Number 1. Achilles' Last Stand by Jimmy Page. By 1976, Led Zeppelin had already rewritten the rules of rock guitar. But with Achilles' Last Stand, Jimmy Page pushed his playing further than ever, in scale, in complexity, and in sheer ambition. Clocking in at over 10 minutes, the track is driven by relentless rhythm and shifting layers. Page doesn't just solo, he orchestrates. Using multiple overdubs and harmonized leads, he constructs a guitar section that functions like a choir, weaving in and out of itself, rising in tension, and dissolving into moments of resolution. What sets this apart from his more famous solos is its scope. It's not built around a single riff or motif. Instead, Page treats the guitar like a landscape, layering melodies over galloping bass lines, bending notes into microtonal shades, and creating a sound that feels both massive and tightly controlled. There are moments where it sounds like the whole band might fly apart, but Page keeps it grounded. He's not showing off. He's building something cinematic. Despite its brilliance, Achilles' Last Stand is often overlooked in favor of Zeppelin's more radio-friendly epics. But for many guitar players, this is Page at his peak, expansive, fearless, and